Welcome. And as you know, I can't hold anything in because I just made my first discovery. Now, I already think that whatever I'm doing right now already exists. The thing is, a regular guy like me, um, how can I say this? You see, you don't find people like me on the internet. And things like this shouldn't exist. And nobody would ever tell anybody they do exist. Metric time is actually the time of the sundial. And the time in the sundial is 360 degrees. And I just made my first discovery. It's insane. I can't believe it. In order for an egg to hatch, it's 21 days. And I'm going to show you why it's 21 days, how it works on the sundial. In the new metric time, like I brought up, there is 90 seconds to a metric minute. There is 64 metric minutes in an hour, which is equaling to 96 regular minutes. 15 hours in a day. But day is spelt this way because it also means a dam. An egg means a dam, and there's so many other things. I'm going to jump off of this for 1 second. When you write the N, the small n or the big N, it looks like this little needle, this little H. At the same time, it looks like a U because it's so improperly hard to do, especially when you're doing cursive writing. So the U and the N, just like the E and the O, and there's a real reason for the E and the O, the 5th letter and the 15th letter. In between, it counts for 10 to catch the next letter. Catch the next letter. 10, 10, 10, you arrive at the letter C, and that is the part of creation. You begin as the one spirit on D, E, F, and the piano. If you ever look at the piano keys, if I'm not sure, it's 38 keys. Is that what it is? 38 keys and 52 keys? Or is it 36 and 52? Creation of man and the signalization of the passage. So anyways, we're going to get up to this. There's 86,400 seconds in a day. When you divide that into 90 seconds in the minutes, you get 960 minutes. There's 64 minutes of 90 seconds in a 15-hour day. 54 times this would equal to 960. Okay? 64 times 90, 5760. 90 seconds, there's 5760. Okay? 5,760 seconds in a 64-minute hour. 90 seconds. 5760, my friends, was the year 2000. That's when everything came around. In the year 2000, that's the Hebrew date. Okay? It's in seconds. It doesn't mean it has to be big and say the big time. When numbers get too big, you can't count anymore. And all the little numbers, who cares about them? When you have $1 trillion and $100, if it falls on the floor, sometimes you just can't pick it up. You don't pick it up, and you won't pick it up, for regardless of the reason. So now we have 5760. So what brings on the next years? Why? Why is it 2012? It wasn't only 2012. It's been happening since 19 whatever. But people are talking about 2012, and I'm seeing 2014, and I'm also seeing other years because there's skip years. Okay, there's expression years in which things have to fall into line. I mean, you just don't, okay, we're going to do it, but by the time you finish starting to do it and you're just into the stretch, it's already 3 years later. So things have begun 3 years before, because by the time you reach a part and you're 3 years later, you have begun something else in between. Now you're saying, hey, it keeps coming and coming and coming. So we have 5760 in 12 years. It's pretty simple, okay? There's actually 14 cards in the deck. The ace is at the beginning, the ace is at the end. When the ace changes to 11, all the picture cards drop down to 10. They all become worthless of value. They only become a value of 0 points, but 1 point for a card. So anyways, in poker, okay, which is the game of life, and you want to know why? Because in 7 days of 15 hours a day, you have 105 hours. 105 hours. If you count the ace to the king in cards as 1, 2, 3, 4 all the way to 13, and then 14, it equals 105. 4 times this is 420, which is 28 days. And it's also the maximum numbers you are allowed to type in on Facebook. 135 degrees sticks out this corner, which is the 9 birth angle. 135 degrees from the other side, 3 days and 3 days, comes out here at the 7th gate. In between is 45 degrees, 45 degrees, okay, which is the 1 day in between the 3 days and the 3 days. Okay, I'm not talking about any days of prayer right now. I'm just talking about that one holy day. Okay, so you have the 145 in the middle. So what you have in the middle is 90. 90 is the birth. When you're lying down in the seat, what's the angle that you're lying down with your feet up? What I want to show you now is, I don't know which way to do this, but I'm just going to try and draw this 90. See, what happens is we only get to take 45 degrees because we're not living on this side of the world. We're living on this side of the world. You see, the omega goes all the way around. I mean, all the way. The omega goes all the way around and plugs up to here and then goes all the way around. See the letter P? This is the angle you're born on. This is the angle of coming into the world. 135 plus 45 equals to 180. You're coming into the world, right? But you're coming in on an angle. So that 180 angle will automatically add a 45 degree on it. 180 and 45 is 225, and that brings on the life of one angel. Why? Because 9 times 25 is 225. 9 times 52 is 468. That is the 9 times Mayan count. But the Mayan count, if they run by the deck of cards, would only multiply it by 7. So that would be 364. And we have 365.5. Well, when you cross this way, and then you cross this way, that's 5 and 5. 5 times 5 is 25. And then the Christ that comes into you times 5 is 125, 365.25 days a year. It's just not supposed to be lived the way we think. It's got to be split up in a different way. So anyways, now what we have is 9 is the birth. My mouse keeps turning off. 9 is the birth. 135 degrees. 5, 1, and 3, 9. 135 degrees. 1, 3, and 5, 7. And 9. 7 and 9, 9 and 9. This one makes 11. This one makes 13 or 31 because of the 10-10 effect that come in. So for the 9 that comes down here and the 9 that goes down here, in order to come over here, okay, it's 3 more days. So this chicken, 9 days and 9 days is 18, and 3 days is 21 days for this chicken's egg before it comes out of the hatchery, which is right here. The one spirit. Okay, this is Omega. This is the one spirit of Omega. Okay. I don't know. Okay, so where are we? So we were back onto metric time. This is just a who knows where or whatever. Anyways, can I just skip off this to metric time? I just watched this most insane thing about somebody saying the same thing. We're in a holographic world. We are, but we're not. What we see is what we see. That's what we see. The creation of the exterior of the realm of this world may not be the actual world that you see. The skies may not be what you see. They might be manufactured. They are the skies of our heavens. Another thing is, you must, and now I'm going to start concentrating on this more, I must get rid of all earthly values. You must have fun on earth, but you must find a way to get rid of the anger. You must rid of the anger. Okay, if you rid of the anger, for everything you separate yourself from, you start to connect yourself to something else. Okay, don't worry. The system knows when you want to do this, and it's the time I feel to do it because it's happening to me. So I feel it's the time to get those energies. You cannot gamble because the hopes and wishes of just getting something that has no value is not good for the matrix. It will not take you anywhere. You can do good things for people. Okay? You can create a gambling situation for others, so everybody else should lose, and you'd be the only one there with any energy left. So that would be no good at all. You don't want to take any more gambles. The gambles you want to take have to be different in this new world. They have to be different. So anyways, now what we're on to is we're on to 4 weeks, 28 days in a 15-hour-a-day day. is 420 hours. But if I go on to a regular week, which is 168 hours, you remember I said 568 by 4, and this is 168. Well, 168 times 4, let me calculate this. I don't want to make a mistake. 168 times 4 equals 672. 672 hours. So the difference here is 252 hours. Does this tell you anything at all? The difference in time of these 6 numbers. If I would put these 6 numbers here and these here, I would have to find a number that goes into the middle of it. Okay? And just to show you the bottom number, 6 and 9 is 15 and 2 is 17, which is the queen. The 6, this is the angel, and this is the queen. How do I know this? It's so simple. 6 and 7 is 13, 14, 15. 1 and 5 is 6. 4 and 2 is 6. They're both 6. So what you have to do is split this apart. It would become 25, 6, 25, only because of the hours of time. Now that's how you know whether the time is coming back or not. When you revert time back to 360 degrees, just like we want to learn about gold and silver and what its functions are in life towards the monetary side, it's the same thing for time. We are not running in the right time. Therefore, we can never actually get what we need because we are not on center. Okay? We must never run one line. Okay? You must always run 3 lines. You learn this at the railroads, because line goes in, line goes out, one line for repair, one place for the people to wait. You run this line here. You need to extend. If it's 10, you need 30. If it's 8, you need 12. You always need the room to roam. That's why time was pushed the way it was. It made us focus more precisely, directly, and then as we focus more directly on one thing, like anybody knows about compression, when you tighten up one seems to loosen. This is what happens on hydraulics. You make it stronger or faster, the faster it becomes weaker, the faster it becomes stronger, yes, the whole becomes weaker. So our vision has changed. That's why the cat's eyes are the way they are. It's a focus. We can never focus because the time is off. We are living on the wrong time. Although it's going to be completely different, every hour will actually be the same. This is metric time, 64 minutes in 1 hour, 90 seconds a minute, and there are actually 15 hours in a day. Why am I doing this? First of all, if you ever notice, everything returns to 6. Everything returns to omega. Omega is everything. Omega is 1 and 5. 1 and 5 makes 6. In between 1 and 5 is 3 or C. And 3 and C actually create the 5, because the only way to create a C or a 3 is to turn it backwards, turn the E backwards to become a 3. So 5 became 3, and 3 is 5. Together, 53 or 35 is 88. And where am I? 88 is Mercury. He's got the planets lined up this way, Mercury, and he's got the planets lined up this way. This way, and then this way. And then this way, and then this way. He's got them all cornered in by the matrix, Mercury. Venus is 81, which is 9 by 9. Jupiter is 99. 9 times 9 is 81. 9 and 9 is 18, makes 99, around and around, because it's Jupiter. It goes around and around. You jump. Why don't we put the A there? We don't have to, because the atom jumps from A to M. From A to M, when you don't mark this J right, it says 2. To P to M. Same thing. I'm making it all up. It's all in the numbers. I only tell you what's in the numbers. That's all. It's what the numbers say. And I know I made up the definitions. But you know what? I just made another find. I'm going to get back to this. But I made another find. And the find was 7286 happens to be in the Baffin Islands. Okay, now I can say to you, okay, it's the greatest find I've ever found, but I found nothing at all. But I've been looking at this for the longest time, and when I was the youngest of all boys, very, very rare for somebody to go to Nunavut, and I was there at the age of 13. My grandfather took me there. I always wanted to go back. I went there twice. Oh my God. It's, when you're there, my friends, there's no police people. There's no policemen out there. There's not one policeman, and the only thing they're calling for you is, come, come, I see a fish. I see a fish. And at night, they come and they call you to dinner, and then they call you to a snack, and they disappear into the light, just doing the little things that they just want to do, and they get the little money that they need to survive where they are. Oh my God, Baffin Islands, Nunavut, it's in Quebec. And you want to hear something funny? I told you about 53 and 35. That too is the number of Quebec. It means kiss ass. Quebec in French. Another thing in Jewish, in Hebrew, they call the mem letter, and the sameach, they look exactly alike. So when I looked at mem and I says mem, I says, oh my God, same M, same letter of K and H, 15 to 20. That's the egg, 2 eggs. It shows 2 eggs. The Jewish language shows 2 eggs in their language, okay? They show lamed being worth 5 different values because of the letter that might show in front of it might tell you what the lamed value is, whether it's a bet or a vet. And then in vav, okay, it gives you 3 focuses, okay? And vav, okay, 22, 44, total of 45. It's the fox. I have 58 marked for another reason. Don't worry about that. And then yo is a tzadi. It's like an opus dei. I mean, if you really, and you got to keep putting these things together and connecting them. It's just like music, isn't it? It wouldn't be here. The sound wouldn't be here. The echo wouldn't be here. It's just like music, the letters I do. And there's some stuff that I've done and written that when I look back at it on the screen, I go, oh my God, look at the separations. It seems like there's something else created. There's always something created where the empty space is. The empty space almost has as much value as the space you take up. Because whatever's not in it will actually envelope or glove. So I didn't finish yet with the 28 hours would give me 250. Okay, I'm just trying to, 28 days is 420 hours. Now 420 represents the angle, okay, of the 5, of what the 5 and the 9 does, the 9 birth. 5 and 9 are 14, 1 and 4 are 5. So it's the center. It's the placement where the ace is. Everybody knows the ace, the dot is in the center. Everybody threw a pair of dice in their life and know that dot is in the center. Well, that's where it is. So in all, we would have 420. Now, if I would take and break the year down by 4 months at a time, right? 4 months, 3 seasons. Or 3 seasons and 4 months. So if it'd be 4 months, 3 months, 3 months, 4 seasons, 3 months, 4 seasons, I'd have 1,260 in the cycle. In one cycle, I would have 1,260 hours. And now basically all you left to look at is 1 goes with 2 as 2 goes with 6. 1 is in 2. It's 72, 7,200 RPMs. You can look at it so many ways, but the end result, you have to know if it's a season, it has to begin with an egg. 6, 7, 8, 9. And now you have a 9 and the egg. So now you go, the egg's worth 15. That's 45 plus 90 equals 135. And there you go. We got another birth and another entrance. So we know the 4 seasons of 3 months actually does work. And it always has to work. It can never not work because 360 degrees around is 360 degrees around unless we start to change that too and break that up. Because maybe in the 360, the core, like the pineapple core, maybe that has to be actually removed. You know that pineapple core wouldn't be there? But the pineapple would probably be dead. wouldn't it? If you take out the complete core of the pineapple, I mean, it's almost like taking out a bomb. The core of the pineapple is the brain of the pineapple. Okay, so we were working on, the other thing I wanted to work on is that when you start the alphabet, if you start from omega or you start from the number 0, go to 9. Wait, is it 9 or is it G? Is it a G or a 9? Sometimes you cannot tell the difference regardless which one it is. So we're always intertwining the alphabet with numbers. So now when we go back to pi, we got to ask ourselves a question. Is it a letter or is it a number? Now if it's a letter and we get a few letters, we can spell something with pi. Then we can start the beginning of the sentence with pi and try to figure out what pi is trying to tell us. You do know that there is a company trying to tell us and get a hold of us. Hey, Pi, many souls are on the line. They are! Many souls are on the line, and I'm Pi on the line. Oh, I can't speak to you any longer, devil. I got to take care of the souls. So he hangs them up and he picks up an 8 of diamonds. Well, once you get an 8 of diamonds, you've got everything. Because 8 will have 5 pieces on it. Each one is worth 5. 2 on the outside, 1 on the inside, 1 on the inside, 2 on the outside. It's all worth the same thing. That makes 40. And 8 plus 5 is 13. Equals 53. And we got number 53 again from the 8 of diamonds. So since God got the 8 of diamonds, right? Wouldn't he have to come in the heavens with a birth and use the 7th gate and create the 6th man? Well, that'll make 5, 6, 7, and 9. He's got a straight flush. So when God actually got the 8 of diamonds, he got a straight flush all the way up to the 9. But he didn't even see those cards because those were the ones that the devil was holding on the line, bringing them in on birth. They're in the bed, they're on the line, the doctor's lying back, we're at 135 degrees in the 9th month at 135 degrees, and push. Oh, there's a faulty call. Why is that? The faulty call comes like this. Because at the same time as the 360 degree mark at 135 degrees, it is actually, okay, known at sometimes 4:30 in the afternoon, or 4.5, which equals 9. 4:30 equals 7. It also can equal the night part, because we only have 3 parts to the day like the Mercedes. Okay, so if it's the night part, then we'd have to calculate 4:30 and 12, 16:30. 16:30 would be 135 degrees, 6, 1, and 3, 10 days. Oh my God, do I have a good one now? Oh my God, does this ever work out? If you don't think numbers works out, what I'm finding in time right now is insane. Look at this. 4:30 in the afternoon, which is right here at the 9 birth. Okay. 6, 3, and 1, creation of one spirit. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 30 is creation omega. 1, 6, the one spirit of the 6 islands. This is the egg of omega. 3 by the omega egg is 15. You got 45 in 3 days and 135 degrees. This is 16:30 in the afternoon. If you relate it to the laws of Moses, 613. Or what you do now is you go 6 days, 1 day, and 3 days. And in here you will have an answer to the laws of Moses through birth. 6 points for a touchdown, 1 point, extra point, 3 points for a field goal. Does anybody know why 3 points for a field goal? Because 1, 2, in between is the point. 1, 2, 3. That's how it works. Once you get in between, once you judge from the 2 posts, you judge from behind and you get your field goal. I know this can be all BS, but now this 6 times 15, okay, equals 90. 1 times 15 equals 15, and 3 times 15 equals 45. So this is what we have now. Since we took these days, I did it really quick, okay? 6 days at 15 hours, because the 7th day of God we pray. 6 days at 15 hours is 90 hours, okay? 90 hours, we're back here again at birth, okay? 90 hours, if we go 90 degrees, right over here, we're in the number 6 of Saturn position, okay? It tells 2 stories, okay? This story and this story. It tells 6 and 9. The reason it tells the story of 6 and 9 is because, hold on, where is it? Okay, here it is. Here it is. Is because you see this over here. What happens is the angle, our angle, you see the point, the leg up here? This is the gamma gimel. This point between 1 and 9 is free parking and go. It's on this angle we're set up. Okay? Although this is 2, this is 6, this is 8. And over here, this is number 4. Because we're on this angle, this also makes this one number 1. It makes this one number 3. It makes this one number 9. And this one number 7. 7 and 8 get coupled together over here. You see this? Disregard this 1, 9, 1, 3, 7, 9. That's on the outside because God is on both sides. So you get the 23, the 69, the 7, the 8, and the 14. And that's basically your game. 37 here and here, or 6 and 6, the way it totals out. Now I jumped off the last bandwagon into 613 days, which 90 degrees is an L angle. My mouse keeps turning my computer off. 15 degrees, okay. If you want to look, I can look at it as hours, or now I'm turning into degrees. So each one of these can be played with, and something else can be found. 3 of these equals to 1 of these, and 2 of these equal to 1 of these. The one spirit. You remember? Omega, 1 times 15 hour. 1 ton omega, 1 ton omega, and this 115 over here, if you go and pull the plug out on your computer, that's the same power. So power us up. I'm sorry if I couldn't explain it any better than I did. I did put the information together, and I came on here to tell everybody the way I see it. We must fix time. And one of the ways to fix time is so simple. When the new conscience world comes in, we're going to be running by the sun time, and not the suntan, but the sun time. And it won't be a magazine that you're going to buy. And there's not going to be time that you're actually going to waste and not understand. We're going to understand the time we use more than ever before, because the time we spend gambling and hoping and wishing is all of what this world is about. But we should be, the wish should be more of the understanding of the why to want. The whole game that we sit in is all about a little bit about bowling and who, and all about what and why and where and how come. That is what it's all about. It's all about all of that. But in the real world that we're all sitting in right now, here she comes and here she goes. I must have missed a boat. Raphael 7286, another sequence in time.